Good morning, folks. Hope you're all doing well. It is not my job to welcome you, but I am glad to do it. Glad to see you at the Foundry Theater. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. And the college would ask if you don't mind to make sure you silence your phones. If you want to use them to take a picture while everything comes along, you're welcome to. But if you would please make sure they are silenced, that would be great. We're going to get going in just a couple minutes.
Please join me in thanking the World House Choir and their director, Dr. Kathy Roma. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jane Fernandez, and I have the honor of serving as president of Antioch College. It's my distinct honor and privilege to welcome all of you here today for the 9th commencement of Antioch College, celebrating the graduating class of 2024. Along with classroom, co-op, and community, the community is a critical part of Antioch College and our entire community should be acknowledged for their contributions to making this day happen. So please take a moment now to join me in thanking the many people who have been involved in the planning and execution of our gathering. Will everyone on the commencement committee please rise? The people we want to be sure to thank: Paige Babb, Forrest Bright, Anita Brown, Donna Evans, Brian Norman, Sherry Ely, Roger Stopper, Monique Cooper, Will Rice, Hannah Montgomery, and Noah Street. And also a special thank you to Joshua Miller and his facilities and grounds crew, and to Bruce Linebaugh and his team on the farm, and to Richard Zoff and our alumni workers who have helped beautify the campus for this special occasion. I must say Antioch looks better than I've ever seen it. When I look out, wow, amazing. So will anyone on the Board of Trustees please stand now and remain standing? Will the President's Cabinet rise and remain standing? Will the faculty please rise and remain standing? Will the staff please rise and remain standing? Alumni volunteers, please rise and remain standing. Family and friends, please rise and remain standing. That means all of you. Okay. Oops. Okay, thank you. Thank you for everything. I guess you can sit down. At this time, let's take a moment to center ourselves in some silence to remember those who we have lost throughout the year, to appreciate those who are with us today, and to experience the space that we share at this moment. And I want to particularly remember one of our beloved graduates, Quinn Ritzoff, who passed away in the past year. And I also want to call your attention to the fact that 60 years ago yesterday, Michael Schwerner, Andrew Goodman, and James Chaney were involved in violent action, which resulted in death as they were advocating for racial justice. They're young men, and their brothers and relatives were Antioch students. So all of that in our mind, let's center on some silence to remember those who have left. Okay, thank you. Now, congratulations to the graduates of the class of 2024. Fantastic. Whoa. As you embark on this, yes, big, we have to must remember to keep congratulating them, because last year, I think we forgot to do that. So I'm trying to be clear-headed about what we're doing. Anyway, I want to say a few words to the students. As you embark on this new chapter, I'm urging you to think boldly and act courageously. Be resilient in the face of challenges and compassionate in your interactions with others who especially may need your support. You've lived through the global health pandemic and all the disruption it caused you in different ways. The class of 2024 faced unique challenges and embarked on a remarkable journey, which I've seen as characterized by resilience, adaptability, and unwavering determination. Higher education these days is shifting. College is getting very difficult and harder. And here you are shaping the world. I want to reference a few of the graduates and some of the work they're doing, which I'm trying to find out what Antioch is all about exactly. But you never can pin it down. So I'm just going to cover a few things about some of the work students have done as they graduate. One of them is Allie Leach. Allie studied environmental humanities. And Allie has worked with a lot of students, or maybe the students worked with Allie, they all got together, and stewarded our apothecary garden near Pennell House. And it's now quite beautiful. Perhaps when you leave today, you could go by and look at that. This shows responsible use and protection of our natural environment. And that is also encompassing many practices aimed at conserving and preserving the Earth's ecosystems. And that's something Antioch College students do every day. Our students are also committed to diversity and social justice. Social justice encompasses the fair and equitable distribution of resources, opportunities, and privileges. Bonnie Rodriguez is another person who's here in the class of 2024. And I want to say Bonnie and her colleague Lark Orb, also a student, taught me. I worked hard to get the right words, so they taught me that there's always a point from which I can see more clearly. So Bonnie and many students address social justice challenges worldwide by organizing Antioch support for Gaza and opposition to genocide. And our campus has had a remarkable agreement or remarkable consensus about the important work that they are doing, and I imagine will continue to do. Today, Today, we all face U.S. politics that's not serving us or our country. We have out-of-control inflation and an astonishing number of anti-trans bills. Our students stand firm with Dr. Queen Zabriskie and Dr. Kevin Magruder at the Coretta Scott King Center to build vital DEI programs. Rebuild, create new DEI programs at a time when other colleges are closing DEI work and centers by force of the law. So I think these are some of the characteristics that make Antioch a standout. And sometimes we forget in the pressure of the days at Antioch, which they are heavily pressured days. I know you know what I mean, heavily pressured. It's very important. What we're doing is very important. And we are willing to carry out whatever we need to do to make, maybe make some small victories. Despite chaos and risk, I hope you will forge ahead in a world where everyone will be treated with dignity, respect, and fairness, regardless of their background, identity, or circumstances. We want to strive for equal access to essential life resources, such as education, healthcare, food, housing, and employment. Abby Seister, did I say it properly? Okay. I remember Abby at the voting poll. Last fall when we voted, Abby was there with lots of Antioch students, and she had posted signs. She created signs with quotes about people's basic needs, emphasizing that community and collaboration go hand in hand in creating better circumstances for all people. And that is definitely part of what Antioch College believes and does. Graduate Ben O'Brien showed the value of continuous learning to me because he challenged me to see the commonalities between art and facilities and how it could be helpful, if Antioch offered art and facilities a shared space. So that's pretty hard push for me. Well, it's a hard push for me, art and facilities, but Ben was he's convincing. And so I have been mulling it over, honestly, because of the way he has completed interdisciplinary projects with new and innovative ideas. And so I would never have those kinds of thoughts if not for the students of Antioch College. Also, Adrian Colburn is known for social enterprise projects involving innovation and entrepreneurship. And he's helped us understand more about how to maybe not focus so much on money and more on doing the right thing for the college and the people. So I think that in the end, I hope you remember your lifelong journey of discovery and growth. It will go on, it will continue, because now Antioch is in you. So you'll never stop. You'll always be thinking. I hope you embrace curiosity that will lead to new ideas and innovations that we need now. I hope you foster empathy, understand other people's perspective, and drive positive, even if it's hard. I hope you drive positive change, even if you have to uphold your own integrity and maybe kind of fight or push. I think that will be the cornerstone of your actions and the world's decisions. Class of 2024, as you step into the world beyond these walls, carry with you the lessons of the past, the promise of the future, and the strength of your convictions. Be bold, be compassionate, and be the change you wish to see in the world. Congratulations, and may your future be filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. So now please join me in welcoming our current Community Council Chair, River Esquivel, who will share our land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Jane. Good morning, everybody. Please join us as we acknowledge and honor that the word Ohio comes from the Iroquoian word Ohio for good rivers and was a place of gathering and ceremony, trade and exchange, food growing, sharing and story, and respect for culture. The Iroquoian, Siouan, and the Algonquin-speaking peoples are still here. We can never separate the people from the land, for this land longs for its people. We acknowledge the homeland of the Shawnee, Delaware, Potawatomi, Miami, Wyandot, Seneca, Chippewa, Ottawa, and the Wapakoneta. Over 39 historic nations and bands call this land home. Today we are gathered on the land that was unceded and stolen. I ask that you acknowledge these communities, their elders both past and present, as well as future generations. We are committed to the process of working to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. We acknowledge that this place was founded upon exclusions and erasures of indigenous knowledge about how to care for these lands. We are obligated to support and educate each other with accurate information about the true history of this land. Decolonialization means that we will strive to be in service of the water and the rivers and the animals in relational solidarity with them. And as people now on this land, we must do what we can to provide nature and wildness with protection and defense. This land acknowledgement was authored by Shane Creeping Bear, Kiowa, in collaboration with Chief Ben Barnes of the Shawnee tribe based in Miami, Oklahoma, whose people were forcibly removed from Ohio areas around Wapakoneta in 1831. Other contributors include Don Knickerbocker, Anishinaabe, Jahari Neri, Dene, and support from the Greater Cincinnati Native American Coalition. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Shelby Chestnut, Chair of the Board of Trustees.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm, for once, glad that commencement was indoors. It's very hot out. So my name is Shelby Chestnut. I'm class of 2005 and chair of the Board of Trustees. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we would really like to congratulate the class of 2024. We were talking last night at dinner and realized that a lot of you who were in high school as COVID sort of started and then came to college. So you all have had a journey that I don't think many of us will ever understand except you all. And I do think that you made a really critical and bold decision in coming to Antioch, particularly in these times. And I'm personally just incredibly proud of the work that you've done and the leadership you've shown. As President Fernandez mentioned earlier, I think you're graduating during a very uncertain and painful moment in this world's history. And I've seen you lead with intention and care and demand a world that we all deserve to live in, not just this people here, but everyone. I saw that in your letter writing campaigns to stop the state of Ohio from implementing dangerous anti-LGBT laws this year. And again, your immediate mobilization to call for a ceasefire and denounce the genocide against Palestinians. Time and time again, you're leading by example. And I'm certain that your Antioch education will propel you towards greatness in the days and years ahead. As much as Antioch has probably pushed you in ways you didn't always feel great about, I can speak from experience that you will definitely miss this place. But remember that it's in your DNA, and I encourage you to return often. This year, I want to acknowledge a special graduate, Allie Leach, who... For our guests here, I don't know if you know this, but Antioch students, staff, and faculty serve on the Board of Trustees with graduates and other supporters of the college on the Board of Trustees, so they literally govern the college. But Allie has been a student representative on the board for 3 years, and it's been an immense joy to work alongside her and to see the world that she's sort of creating with people around her. She was often zooming in from her co-ops abroad and would make it work. The Wi-Fi didn't work. She's like, I have to be off video, but she would always show up to the meetings. And to see her sort of growth in the last 3 years has been just a joy for me, and I know the entire Board of Trustees, so we're so proud of you. Really congrats to all the graduates on this amazing day. It's a day that I hope you really take in and remember all that you've taught us, not just what you've learned. With that, I'd like to introduce Brian Norman, Provost of Antioch College.
Good morning. And thank you, Shelby. I love this part of commencement. It's really fitting that our first speakers are graduating students, selected by the community. Antioch is a storied place. We have always been and continue to be a college that changes lives. And in the process, we're a college that changes the world. Antioch has had an outsized role in American history and higher education across 3 centuries, not to mention at least 3 closures, depending on how you count. Antioch was an early force in integrating American colleges and paying women equitably at its founding. It revolutionized liberal education with the focus on integrating scholarship and life experience. It fueled multiple social movements across the Black freedom movement, women's liberation, gay liberation, the student movement, indigenous rights, and more. Generations of Antioch graduates learned how to put ideas into action, ask bold questions, and never settle for the world as it is. And many return to campus each year reminding themselves of their early hopes and their work to roll up their sleeves to keep this special place running. Today, our graduating students carry on that legacy, and they in turn show us what it looks like for today's world. In our student speakers today, we get to see a glimpse of a world that's possible because our students are already achieving it. Our first speaker will be Ashley Lot-Goddess Coleman. Ashley is a Black, queer documentary filmmaker from Dayton, Ohio. She brings a unique blend of experiences to her storytelling craft with a background encompassing 19 years in corporate America and an associate's degree from the International College of Broadcasting in 2020. She's graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree focusing on interdisciplinary arts and creative practice at Antioch College. During her time at Antioch, Ashley has lived her definition of community, love in action. She believes that our words and actions should reflect care and concern for those that we are in community with. She has a firm belief that community is about survival, and everyone has something to bring to the table. Ashley has shown up for the Antioch community as a student pulse worker, student life assistant, media lab coordinator, and community council member, all while maintaining a spot on the dean's list. Ashley is... That's worth clapping for. Ashley is on a mission to breathe life into narratives that resonate across generations. Through her documentary work, which I hope you'll get to see this afternoon, Ashley seeks to unearth the authentic stories of women and marginalized individuals, aiming to shed light on their rightful place in history. Her ultimate goal is to provoke thought, instigate change, and redefine the prevailing paradigms of equality and truth.
Good morning, everybody. You guys look amazing, and I'm so happy to be doing this with you guys. So, first to God, thank you. Yeah, that covers it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed staff and faculty, proud parents, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so nervous. As I look out at the beautiful faces staring back at me, I'm filled with nothing but gratitude for the unwavering support of those who have stood by me during the most challenging times. To my father, Joseph L. Coleman, Jr., whose passing on July 26, 2023, left an unforgettable mark on my journey, and my mother, Michelle Coleman. Without the lessons and values you both instilled into me, I wouldn't be here today. To my sisters, Candace and Jasmine, my grandparents, nephews, cousins, aunts, uncles, and close friends, your love and support has been my rock, and I cherish you beyond words. The transition out of college is filled with so many fears and questions about the future. I thought I was exempt from these feelings because of my age, but it's just a part of the human condition. I'm eternally grateful to Mercy Carpenter and Anna Robinson. We've spent late nights on the porch of Pennell dancing, laughing, and writing papers simultaneously. Walks to town to get salsa brava when dinner service just didn't cut it. Or rallying around each other at times when all we really needed was a hug and a word that everything would be okay. And all of this just happened this term, so thank you. Empathy is what brought us together, creating genuine emotional connections among us. As we leave Antioch and begin the next chapters of our lives, I'm confident that empathy will guide us, illuminating the way toward collaboration and success. In a society that often emphasizes individual achievements, empathy has the power to transform our worldview. It encourages us to recognize that behind every decision, every action, and every triumph, there are people with their own aspirations, fears, and dreams. Empathy allows us to move beyond our own perspectives, appreciating the unique value each person contributes. This fosters deep, meaningful relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. During my time at Antioch, I've come to realize that empathy is an essential life skill that traditional educational institutions often overlook. Similarly, corporate America tends to undervalue this trait as well. The prevailing systems in our nation seems designed to desensitize us, overload us with work, and create division amongst us. Despite this, I see a glimmer of hope for our future in the emerging generation. You all have demonstrated to me that empathy is gaining ground. It grows from a collective understanding, flourishing in environments where solidarity and care for ourselves and others are prioritized. As we embark on this next chapter, let us carry with us the lessons and values that we cherish. Let empathy guide our actions, infusing every challenge with compassion and a genuine desire to effect positive change. Let us remember that true success is not gauged by material wealth or accolades, but by the lives we touch and the impact that we make. So, my fellow graduates, as we say goodbye to Antioch and chart our own paths, let's commit to being a light, leading the way to a future overflowing with empathy, collaboration, and boundless opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Or as you often say, period. Next, we will hear from Erin McGuire. Erin is graduating with a self-designed degree in developmental psychology and the arts. Their 4 years have been filled with ups and downs, late nights spent crying over projects or laughing with friends. They enjoyed nearly every experience that they got to have here at Antioch College, from being chair of COMSOL their first year to being an RA in their final 2 years. They enjoyed the work that they got to participate in. And they hope to take those experiences from co-ops, classes, and community and apply them to graduate school and further into their dream career of an adolescent art therapist.
Well, good morning, everyone. I will continue that train. So, I did not get a high school graduation. It wasn't because of any fault of my own, but because of a pandemic that affected most, if not all, of the people here today. Because of that pandemic, I didn't get to have my name called or get to walk across the stage in front of my friends, family, and peers. I didn't get to wear a cap and gown or even get to have a graduation party. I wanted all of these things, even though I knew my name would probably get mispronounced since I graduated from a high school I only went to for half an academic year. It is because of these things that today had to be perfect. I desperately ran around like a chicken with its head cut off in order to make sure I could graduate on time. I mean, I came to Antioch in the year of 2020, so in my mind, I had to walk as a member of the class of 2024. When I knew for sure that I would get to walk across this stage today with my peers, it felt like a huge weight was lifted off of my shoulders. Almost immediately, I asked my dad and my stepmom, both of whom are major factors to the reason I am standing here at this moment, to take me dress shopping. To be honest, I think my dad was probably more excited about shopping for clothes for me than I was. What was only supposed to be one dress ended up being 3 dresses, 2 pairs of shorts, 2 shirts, a necklace, and a bottle of perfume. I cannot tell you how long it took me to decide which of the dresses I would wear today. It was a different one. I got a 4th one. I do have to admit something to all of you, though. Deadlines are the bane of my existence. As a few staff and faculty could probably tell you, I failed time and time again to submit things on time, especially for graduation. Even the speech I am giving right now was submitted late because I completely rewrote it from scratch. Even though everything about today had to be perfect, I felt that the cookie-cutter speech I had originally written was not. I've only written 3 speeches in my life, 2 of them in high school and this one, so I looked up how to write the perfect graduation speech. I had all the buzzwords, all the key points, I had quotes, and even a story from my first year about cold clam chowder that I thought was funny, but admittedly didn't hit. The clam chowder was partially condensed, by the way, if any of you are wondering. I had all of this, but when I heard the speeches of my fellow student speakers, I felt disheartened. Not because I wanted to be competitive and have the best speech, but because I wanted my speech to be remembered, even if it was remembered last. I sat there for weeks wondering why everyone else's speeches felt so much better than mine. Every time I thought about my speech, it would ruin my whole day. What was it? What did I do wrong? It wasn't until about 2 weeks ago that I realized what it was. When writing my speech, I forgot to include myself. Sure, I was there the whole time I was writing it. I wrote about my experiences, I personalized it, but it had no personality. It was like I was pretending to be me. I was too focused on the perfect part of everything that I completely forgot that I am a part of this speech, of this experience, and that I myself am not perfect. If I'm not perfect, why does everything I do have to be as well? My graduation speech wasn't the first instance of this happening. Even the story about cold clam chowder was a story where it took a friend of mine saying something so dumb for some reason to be knocked into me. So I scrapped my original speech. I had a blank page for about 3 days before I finally just wrote down the word perfection. To me, perfection is disappointment. It is an arbitrary word used to describe a concept of quality. Today was never going to be perfect. At least, not to the shrewd definition of perfection that my brain is constantly trying to push. I missed out on opportunities because I wasn't sure if I would be graduating this year. I lacked motivation at certain points and procrastinated many times. I tried way too hard to be perfect that I burned myself out before I even had the chance to start. I am not perfect, and Antioch has taught me that that is okay. That's why I choose to share this experience using my speech. I want everyone to know that it's okay if things don't go perfectly the first time. That doesn't make the work that you've done any less meaningful. Nothing about today or even my entire college experience has gone in the way I originally wanted it to. But that's what makes it perfect.
Thank you, Erna. I think of you as a perfect model of persistence. Thank you. Our next speaker is Adrian Colborn. Adrian is a dedicated college student who has spent the last 4 years of college actively serving in various, I might say many, functions of community government and on varied committees, seeking to provide a vital student perspective in decision-making processes. Alongside their academic pursuits, Adrian holds positions on the boards of 2 nonprofit organizations, Scrutineers and Signals for the Grassroots. Their commitment to education, community outreach, and civil rights work is seen throughout their involvement in promoting voting rights and election transparency among young people, alongside working to connect global youth to professional and educational opportunities internationally. Throughout their time at Antioch College, Adrian became deeply concerned with the state of education and civil liberties, and now hopes to work toward cultivating a better understanding of how alternative approaches to social organization can help achieve better outcomes for the next generation. Adrian's dedication to fostering dialogue and inclusivity aligns with their vision for a more transparent and equitable future. They intend to continue their work in education and civil rights advocacy beyond college, aiming to make a lasting difference through their work. Adrian.
Dear friends, faculty members, families, fellow students, and the greater Antioch community, past and present. Thank you for providing us with this opportunity to gather together and celebrate our collective achievements, an old institution made new. It was here at Antioch that not only my mind was put to work, but my hands as well. I hope that our time here can serve as a testament to the alternative force of a liberal arts education, a place where the nourishing of my intellectual growth has been intertwined with the practical application of my knowledge and a firm belief in social and civic responsibility. Our time here has not been without its challenges. Many of us arrived during uncertain times, navigating college life through the pandemic and uncertain global context. Despite the blemishes and the struggles to get where we are today, I feel prepared for what comes after. This college, with its commitment to ideals of community and service, has cultivated a desire and sense of purpose in me that feels stronger than ever before. A desire to build, to change, and to love. It was here that we forged lasting friendships, engaged in meaningful dialogue, and discovered or rediscovered our passions and the interconnectedness of our shared humanity. As we stand here looking out at a world in transition, I believe that we can all recognize the challenges that await us in this period of growing uncertainty and division. The world today needs the values instilled by our community and our education. Critical thinking, compassion, and the courage needed to challenge the harm being done in the world. I hope that our needed voices and labor can contribute to laying the foundations of a more equitable and compassionate society, which can only stem from our own homes and communities. The building of something better begins with us. With the knowledge that we have been given access to and the training and labor that we have undergone, a part of that responsibility to effect positive change is carried by us, and I believe that we are capable of rising to that challenge. I would like to wish everyone here today a future filled with moments of joy and care, challenges that inspire courage and conviction, and opportunities for reflection, rest, and love. This community has my lifelong gratitude for helping me become who I am today, through all the love and the loss that has been experienced in our time here. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Our final student speaker is Mercy Viola Carpenter. Mercy is a Black and Indigenous cultural worker, memory worker, educator, orator, writer, dancer, singer, community strategist, performance artist, visual artist, and water protector from Brooklyn, New York. Mercy's passionate about land sovereignty, Black and Indigenous cultural technologies, and healing intergenerational trauma. During her time at Antioch, Mercy has worked as the Black and Indigenous Arts and Culture Coordinator, the Black Queer Student Union Coordinator at the Coretta Scott King Center for Cultural and Intellectual Freedom. Mercy has also volunteered at the Antioch Farm, the Native Apothecary Garden, and is a current board member of the BIPOC Food and Farming Network. Mercy has performed African dance and poetry at the Yellow Springs Juneteenth celebration and has been featured as an artist in a photo-focused biennial art show Flourishing at the Herndon Gallery. In Mercy's senior year, she presented a solo art exhibition artwork with liberatory interactive programming. As an educator and artivist, Mercy uses interdisciplinary arts, interactive performance, music, and somatic-based activities to address systemic oppression. Mercy has been community organizing, teaching, and developing curriculum for over 10 years, as well as speaking on panels, rallies, conferences, and marches for direct actions, grassroots organizations, nonprofits, and schools. Mercy comes from a long line of wise women and elders from North and South Carolina, Nigeria, Virginia, Georgia, Jamaica, and Brooklyn. Mercy is based in Brooklyn, New York, where they will also plant seeds of rebirth, imagination, and the possibility of healing our relationships to ourselves, each other, and the earth. Finally, I'm happy to share that earlier this week, Mercy became the inaugural recipient of the Horace Mann Award for Student Excellence in Scholarly and Artistic Inquiry, or what we're affectionately calling the Mannies. Mercy.
Yes, yes. First, thank you everyone for making it here and for making it here safely. Before I begin, I just want to give God the glory and to have an opportunity to give my ancestors, who are Black and Indigenous people, honor for the ways that they have made out of no ways. I want to give honor to my family, to my mother, to my father, to my grandparents, to my sister, who continue to lift me up on their shoulders. I want to give honor to my loved ones chosen in blood who stand in the gap. Okay, now I will begin this occasional poem called Harvest, an ode to new beginnings. Have you seen a pine cone before the fire? Scales pressed down to every side, holding together like an inhale before diving underwater. Do you remember growing on a branch with scaly protection that sings, "This pine cone is not ready to drop its seeds"? Do you remember trusting in what has kept us this far, stewarding our imaginations, watering our belief, and creating our own paths to dream and pull close to our purpose? Have you seen the warm glow of these last few years ignite an opening? Horace Mann echoes through the halls that we are to be ashamed to die unless we have won some victory for humanity. This class has answered that call and found victory and rebirth and coming back from the dead. We have grieved loved ones, lockdowns, quarantines, fear of pandemic-induced school closures. We have exhausted ourselves with grief, fear, and the unknown, and woke up with sadness, soothed with the return of laughter, campfires, and all-night discussions. We have created movie nights of comfort. We have made medicine from our gardens. We have offered each other quarantine care plans, delivered masks, water, food, and care in the midnight hour. And then fire became a key to birth open new life. I have seen fires of change, transformation, and courage welcome all of us back to ourselves and each other, leaving behind who we thought we had to be, leaving behind what we thought we needed to have. I have seen the pine cones open in the smoke of flames and reveal seeds promising lush forests and powerful roots, strengthened by deep earth and nourished by sweet waters. These seeds sing out that they are enough, and what we have planted is worthy of growing. We have planted ourselves, our convictions, and our courage into the earth of our futures. And us, we are worthy. Is it just me who feels new? All right. Do you feel like you did when you first arrived? Do you also feel the spirit of rebirth? In this victory of graduation, in this victory of rebirth, no one can push for you to be born. No one can turn the key that is in your hand. All right, we have felt fear. Thank you, Mama. We have felt fear, but made a decision to breathe, to focus, and to open the door to our new beginnings. We have held steadfast in our own resurrection. We can look back at the fires we crossed and remember our courage, faith, and determination in every fire. We were not alone. We look back and remember co-working, Pomodoro method nights, dance breaks, and nap breaks. We remember. We bring with us our hard-earned courage, our hard-earned trust in growth, in our growth to be us, to dress like us, act like us, write like us, sing like us, perform like us, paint like us, play like us, create like us, dream like us, and to care like us. To invest in active solidarity for our collective rebirth. Towards new beginnings, just like us. And to keep in our hearts the harvest of liberation for all of our relations, just like us. May our harvest be a testimony to love and rebirth, just like us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy. It's such a gift to be able to experience your cultural work in real time. And for those paying attention, Mercy also gifted us with some of her cultural work that's part of the ceremony on the 2024 stole, which is a tradition at Antioch, and you can learn more about that in the final page of your program. And that was one of several really fantastic designs submitted by students, many of them coming from Professor Forbright's graphic design course. And this one features the pine cone. So who would want to follow that act? I know who. We get to hear again from the World House Choir. The World House Choir, as many of you know, is a diverse multicultural, mixed-voice choir whose repertoire is drawn from different traditions, including world music, spiritual, folk, peace, and justice. Its mission is to perform music that motivates and inspires communities toward justice, diversity, and equality as they strive for peace and build a web of mutuality. And now, another section from this wonderful choir.
What's up, y'all? It's glory time. One day we're gonna do this again. We're gonna keep graduating, keep elevating, moving into our higher purpose, into our higher self, unifying in one organism, one love, one movement, and strength and power. It's gonna feel glorious. Glory. Glory. Yeah. Hey. To be an Antiochian is to be dynamic, or not to be stagnant. If you recall a verse from Hamlet, you are created above the standard, so stamp it. Winning the race against racism across the planet, forging new ideas, creating safe havens for people who identify with LGB and TQ, non-binary, he or she, I see you. It's all in all beautiful. We are the glory, we are the stories. We are victorious in our efforts to restore balance. Justice is the song on the record, recording love in unison as we sing in harmony, making me a part of you, making you a part of me. One organism, humanity, stand in peace, hand in hand, form a link, never break, never cease to exist. Every day you live in your higher self. I promise I'm going always ride with you, won't ever be by yourself, yeah? Yeah. When the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Yeah, 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 one day, when the war's won. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wave your hands in the sky like this. Hey, hey. Uh-huh. Hey, hey. Glory, hey, hey, glory, hey, hey, sing, hey. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won. Yeah. We gon' fight on to the finish, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, we'll cry. Come on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cry. Hands up in the sky to the heavens. Hands up to the sky to the heavens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey. Look, I kicked through the door to glory and the light shined before me. The book of time was open, it was then I read the stories of pioneers and martyrs who gave the skull and the all so LeBron could play ball. Brian could study law, they survived the tidal waves on ships, transporting slaves, wrote books on Jim and Jane, CRC and Lorraine. People called them insane. They went against the grain, civil disobedience, the genius was in their brain. Let me tell you how it feels to be in chains and handcuffs. It's hard, weighing on you heavy, hard to keep your head up. On God, praying Jesus save me, help me make my bed up. It's messy, wondering how many times again you'll test me. Amen. He without sin cast the first stone, they threw rocks at me. Now I got diamonds on and birthstones, I'm hip-hop catchy. They applied it for my worst songs. A mother's pain is real, these are birthed out of her songs. Until one day, fly with me, yeah. Fly with me, yeah. One day, yeah. When the war's won, yeah. We gonna be sure, y'all. We gotta be sure we gotta unite again. Hey, everybody say, glory. I can't hear you say, glory. One more time, say it loud now, glory. Yeah, here we go, glory. Let's go. Come on, yeah. Rock with me, hey. I see y'all. I'm so proud of y'all, man. Y'all did y'all's thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We cry. Tears of joy. Tears of victory. And unification. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Congratulations, graduates. Give it up for them. Peace. Peace and love.
Wow. Thank you, World House Choir, and thank you, Tron. It is good to have you here. Let's express our appreciation one more time. A little bit more celebration before we get to the main celebration. At graduation, we like to lift up the 3 members of our community from faculty and staff who are the recipients of this year's Socio Excellence Awards. So when I call you, please stand so we can say nice things at you as you awkwardly look at us. This year's Staff Excellence Award went to Erica Wyant. Erica is our C-Shop manager and operations specialist. She's widely regarded as a consummate Antioch community member whose energy infuses the Olive Kettering Library and elsewhere on campus. She's been a key force of positive student culture, and she's stepped up to the role of activating the C-Shop, one of our 7 mission-driven, revenue-generating learning hubs. Outside of Antioch, Erica is a doting mother of 3 and spent her early career in developmental disabilities work. Student and staff nominations underscored Erica's positive contributions. For instance, one wrote, "Erica is always helping someone. I have never heard her say no when someone asks for help." Also, Erica is an excellent contributor to the community and exemplifies kindness and grace toward other community members. She's always a positive light that brightens the day of those around her and selflessly is a generous listener to those that speak to her. This positivity is infectious, and the community is lucky to have her. Congratulations, Erica. Second, the Campus Impact Award recipient this year is Luisa Bieri. Luisa is the Dean of Cooperative, International, and Community-Based Learning. That's a mouthful. We might soon say Dean of Work. Luisa grew up here in Yellow Springs and has a background in performance, women's and gender studies, international education, and community engagement through the arts. Since coming to Antioch in 2015, Luisa has designed new co-op coursework engaging art as social practice, community action research, and place-based learning. Most notably, this past year, Luisa helped us achieve the prodigious goal of securing Federal Work College designation, earning a new place for Antioch in higher education as the 10th Federal Work College in the nation and the first in Ohio. And not for nothing, securing some additional federal funding to help our financial sustainability in the process. Luisa's nominations reflect the gratitude and hope that she instills in our campus. For instance, one person wrote, "Luisa has been a consistent member of the faculty who strives to maintain and make a positive influence on Antioch College each and every day. She's passionate about the student experience and adhering to the college's mission of providing experiential education through a social justice lens. As Dean of Co-op, she leads by example and makes decisions in a thoughtful and holistic manner, ensuring they best serve students while meeting the many needs of the college." Indeed, Antioch's future becomes clearer thanks to Luisa's tremendous labor and leadership. Thank you, Luisa. And the Faculty Excellence Award, Queen Zabriskie. So today we get to lift up Queen as one of our newest faculty members, although not new to the Academy. Queen joined Antioch College this past fall as visiting associate professor of social sciences and inaugural resident fellow at the Coretta Scott King Center for Cultural and Intellectual Freedom. Prior to Antioch, Queen was associate professor of sociology, theater, dance, and performance studies at the New College of Florida. Queen hit the ground running, moving our campus forward and bringing a beautiful vibrancy recognized across campus. Now, as acting director of the CSKC, Queen is breathing new life into that space and building on prior work to fulfill its potential as an academic and social force. In less than a year, it has become clear that where Queen walks or dances, joy and movement follow. And where Queen chooses to be, justice can take root. Campus nominators see in Queen a full expression of Antioch's mission. One wrote, "From her impact on others, she's given a funnel for students, both new and current, to take initiative and feel welcome at Antioch. Furthermore, she's filled a unique role among the creatives here through her role as a faculty member. This person is grateful then for her sign that Antioch College is a voice for everyone and the ability to express themselves better." So at Antioch, we are very happy that Queen and her family have a new permanent home at Antioch and in Yellow Springs. Earlier this year, Queen became a member of the tenured faculty, thanks to faculty recommendation and board approval. And now I'd like to welcome back to the podium our president, Jane Fernandez.
I'm honored to present to you our 2024 commencement speaker, Marcy Rendon. Marcy's a Native American playwright, poet, author, and community arts activist based in Minneapolis. She is an enrolled member of the White Earth Band of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. Marcy founded Raving Native Productions Theater, along with various plays, screenplays, poems, and short stories. She has written 2 nonfiction books for children and 3 crime fiction novels. This year will see the release of her first book of poetry, Anishinaabe, Songs for the New Millennium, a new standalone crime novel called Where They Last Saw Her, and Stitches of Tradition, a children's picture book. We're very honored to have Marcy Rendon here. Please join me in welcoming her to Yellow Springs and Antioch College.
I'm sorry that you don't have my speech. I turned it in this morning. Speak louder. Okay. Buju, Awanakwe Indigenous Cause, Migazi Ni Dodame, Gawa Babi Gani Kagandunjaba. I greet you in my Ojibwe language. I'm honored to be here today to honor you, the graduates. I'm here to say congratulations. You've done it, you did well, good job. That's what I say to my grandkids, good job. You accomplished your goal. Some of you breezed through your time here, others of you struggled. Some of you may have quit and started again. No matter how your journey or how you did it, you did it. Some of you have family that supported and encouraged you on your journey. Some of you, you did it alone, but you did it. I'm proud of you, proud of each of you. I don't know you, you don't know me, but it's a big thing. Again, like I say to my granddaughter, good job. Good on you, good job. If you don't have someone else to tell you this, let me tell you, I'm proud of you. I see what you have accomplished, and I see you. In my family of origin, the everyday struggles of life, with the oppression directed at us as Native people, meant that many of my people have not had the opportunity of education. My mother ran away from a forced education at a federal boarding school in South Dakota in 7th grade. How old are you in 7th grade? 12? She ran away. She walked 287 miles, about a week's walk, at 12 years old, in an age before cell phones, Google Maps, or interstate highways. My father quit school to do farm labor at 11 years old. I have 3 siblings, all who attended some college but never graduated. Even though I excelled in school myself, there was zero expectation that I would go on to college. The expectation was that I would be a drunk, dead, or in prison. I did get a bachelor's degree. My father insisted that I go. Of my siblings, he was the one that said, you need to go. My mother died 3 days before my high school graduation. My dad died my sophomore year, so he never got to see me graduate. And so I never walked. I've never done what you all have done here today. I have 3 daughters, all of who quit school. Most of them got their GED. Some of them have gone to college a little bit. None have gotten a college degree. I have 12 grandchildren. Again, because of the educational system and the way that it forgets about us as Native people, most of them have not graduated high school or they've gotten a GED. I have 1 granddaughter who graduated from a very private, wealthy college 3 weeks ago now. Her family showed up for her. She asked them not to wear Crocs or gang colors or, like the people in her family who are self-employed and have never, because of their self-employment, have never filed a federal tax form. They all showed up, and she was like, can you just behave, And they did. The educational system in general in this country is not designed to support success for people of color, non-binary folks, or anyone outside of a very narrow range of what someone, whoever that someone is, determines is the norm. So my understanding is that Antioch offers a different chance. Some of you took this institution up on what they have to offer. So again, you made it. Good on you. Good job. I'm proud of you. So now what do you do? As you probably know, because you have this work-study program, the world out there is not college, and things can be really weird out there. We are in a rapidly changing world. Information and technology that was relevant last week might not apply to the situation today. My granddaughter, who graduated with a computer science degree, is finding that the work she did last summer at Microsoft for an internship, some of that technology has already changed. She needs to constantly be upgrading her knowledge and skill in her chosen field. Climate change is real. It is changing the very world we live in as we speak. Minnesota, my home state, has for centuries been a 4-season state. Snow in winter, rain each spring, warm summers, cool fall, and then snow again in winter. This past year, we had no snow. One day it snowed. Spring usually, is in April and May, and we get a lot of rain. It has been raining constantly through June. My youngest daughter and her 4 children are in the boundary waters up on the Canadian border. The land, it's a land of water and trees. They have been there a week, and torrential rain and a couple tornadoes have destroyed roads going in and out of that part of the state. The state doesn't know when they'll be able to repair the roads and the infrastructure in order to get them out. Again, climate change is real. A week ago, she and her family were living in a nice, quiet suburb outside Minneapolis. The world is changing, climate change is happening, weather and conditions that we could count on are no longer predictable. Fires are raging in the Southwest. Canada has already had major fires. The oceans are heating up and hurricane season is longer. The storms cover a broader span of the continental land and are more intense. Tornadoes in Tornado Alley are more intense. There might be a page. There it is. Sorry. I'm a writer, not a speaker, you all. That's what I do for my life. I sit in my room and I type on my computer and interact with human beings as little as possible. Shelby talked me into this. Droughts are real, torrential rains, the weather is no longer predictable in the way we have known it. This impacts our food systems, our transportation systems, our work methods, our access to food, medical care, and water. So the Red River Valley, where I grew up, has been called the breadbasket of the world. There's been so much rain that there's a question of whether the crops that are grown there will actually be able to be harvested this year because of the amount of rain that we got. So is this doomsday talk? Is this the apocalypse? I don't think it needs to be. Our native prophecies told us that these times were coming, that unless people learn to turn away from industrialization and increase dependence on technology, this season of time would occur. Thomas Bianca, and you can look him up you can Google him. He was a Hopi medicine man who went to the United Nations in the early 70s and shared the Hopi prophecy with the people there. The prophecy says that people need to learn to live in harmony and balance with the earth and to look to the native people for guidance on how to do that. I'm sorry, the land acknowledgement. I appreciate that happening, but in my circle of friends, what we want is land back. The state of Minnesota just gave 11,000 acres back to the Leech Lake tribe in northern Minnesota. It's possible. And in all of the instances where Native people have been given land back, I know of no group of people, Native people, who have, kicked other people off, which seems to be the big fear. Oh, if we give land back, somebody's going to have to leave. Anyways, that was not in my notes. I'm sorry. Let's see. To live in harmony and balance with the earth. In my worldview, this is just common sense. I also think that while education is valuable and that the acquiring of knowledge is good, I think a good part of our education is we also need to develop the ability to think critically, to do a critical analysis of information that is presented to us, to use our minds to question. Years ago, right after Leonard Peltier was sent to prison for supposedly killing 2 FBI agents during the 1973 Battle of Wounded Knee. I think it was in 1978. I was traveling in upstate New York, going to the Akwesasne Nation, and I was wearing a T-shirt that said "Question Authority." We got pulled over by the State Patrol. I got thrown in the ditch, face down, with a gun to my back. They questioned my white friend who was driving. Thank God she was there. They said they pulled her over because the van we were in had a bumper sticker that read "Free Peltier." They told her they were ready to arrest and question me because clearly I advocated for the killing of FBI agents, which was obvious from my Question Authority t-shirt. Bless her liberal heart, she talked them into letting me go. Today, I still think it is a good idea to question authority. Although I don't learn my lesson here, I do not wear my political thoughts on a t-shirt, and I have 0 bumper stickers on my car. There is a thing called the appearance of conformity, an ability to sort of blend in so that one is less likely to be attacked. And being able to do that, you can oftentimes accomplish more things. We need to develop critical thinking skills and to develop the ability to think flexibly. We are living in a world that is rapidly changing and a world that is closing in on differentness. We have to be ready to change and adapt, kind of like practicing yoga, but with our minds. Flexible thinking, instead of acting or reacting in the same old way, you can stop, count to 3, and think of 3 other ways you could respond or handle a situation. Sit with a group of people and strategize new and different ways. This idea of a group is another thing we will need for the coming time. We need to move away from the American idea of independent thinking and start to develop, redevelop our interdependency skills and knowledge. How do we get along with people? How do we build community around us? How do we build a circle of like-minded people who come from different race, class, and gender backgrounds? We need community now more than ever. Our survival as a species may depend on it. Each of us, each of you, is a leader. Each of us at any given time can decide to do what is best for the whole. You don't need to be appointed or designated to leadership. Every single person has the capacity to look around, assess the situation, and determine how to best move a group of people forward in the best direction. Sometimes when we think about what is good for the whole, it may mean accommodating the needs of one. I have a friend who is blind. In order for everything to go well for everyone, his needs need to be taken care of and addressed so that he can participate fully, even if it means more minor discomfort for the rest of the group. A real leader thinks about the whole group and thinks about what will work well for everyone. I have been an instigator my whole life. Since I was a little kid, I grew up between the White Earth Reservation and the Red River Valley. And the Red River Valley is a flat plain that floods every spring when there's enough snow. You can look to the east, and if there's been a snowmelt, you can see the water coming down. So junior year in high school, I'd done a bunch of stuff, like convince kids to not talk to the English teacher for a week until she was like in tears because she had no idea why we were not speaking. But I convinced a group of teenagers to get in a car and drive out and watch the flood come in. A carload of teens in a car with rushing water up to the windowsills. We needed to be rescued by the highway patrol. I realized in that life-threatening moment that if I was going to convince people to do something, I should convince them to do bigger, more important things for themselves and for each other. Real leadership means caring about people, caring for people, taking care for the people who put their trust in you. Our spiritual elders in the Ojibwe tradition tell us to lead with love, to lead with compassion. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, decolonize your mind. I honestly think it is more important at this time in history that we decolonize our hearts. How do we expand our heart consciousness? The mind is like linear. It goes like this. The heart is expansive and encompassing. So I encourage you to decolonize your hearts. Live your lives with integrity and courage. Courage is the capacity to do the right thing in spite of your fears. When you act with courage, you don't consider the consequences to yourself. You just do the right thing in the moment. Do you remember the Atlanta brawl? The young black man, Aaron Rudolph, who dove into the water and swam to help the black security man, who was his co-worker. He dove and swam to help him because he was under attack. Rudolph said he only did what he was taught to do. He wasn't thinking he might get famous. He wasn't thinking about alligators in the water. He wasn't thinking about how he might get hurt. He saw his friend in trouble, and he went to help. That is courage. What is integrity? One definition says that integrity is the quality of being honest and having good moral principles. A definition that I like better is the state of being whole and undivided. When you are whole and undivided, you are living your life as a sovereign being. You're living your life as a sovereign being the way that you were meant to live it. Whole and undivided, unmovable, unshakable, not easily swayed or distracted. I challenge each of you to decide to live your lives with courage and integrity. Back to being the leader that you are. It is easy to lead the people we like and who like us. These coming times, are going to require us to be able to lead people we don't like and who don't like us. My neighbor across the street, and I talk about him all the time so he knows it, I use his name. Randy is a white guy. He's right-wing, biker dude, pushing 60. When I first moved into my house, we were the only family of color on the block, and he accused me of learning English to get free money. Like, what? This is like, I could have wrote him off that day, but I have a history of working to build allies across race and class lines because of a friend of mine who went here to Antioch, and we did created a whole community nonprofit on how to build allies across race and class lines. So I conduct workshops on it. I teach people how to see the good in everyone. Just last month, Randy told my granddaughter, the one who graduated from college, that it was his tax money that was paying for her education. We've lived across from each other for 25 years. We are the co-block leaders of our block. We organized National Night Out. But because of his comment about his taxes paying for my granddaughter's college, we've had a couple of screaming matches. I call him a racist and tell him to stay the blank on his side of the block. He bemoans how hard his life is and how, he works so hard for his taxes for other people's handouts. The one thing that I noticed about Randy early on, though, is that he wants to be liked. And so I've played to that. So in spite of our yelling back and forth, on Mother's Day, he grilled me a hot dog, put this special mustard on it, and walked it across the street so that I would have a Mother's Day meal. That was his way of making amends. Again, how do we lead people we don't like? How do we lead people who don't like us? How do we build sustainable relationships with the people right next door to us? Technology has given us access to the wider world, but climate change, economic change, and health crises are making our immediate world more close. In this coming time, we will need to rely on the people who live across the street, the people who live next door. Like my daughter up there on the North Shore right now. Her survival depends on whoever else got stranded up there with her in the middle of a flood zone. We need to reach for the humanness in every person around us, whether we like them or not, whether they like us or not. Back to Randy. He has a generator and a chainsaw, of course. When a storm took down the trees on our block and put out the electricity, it was Randy who borrowed his generator to the new mom down the street with a brand new baby. And he's the one that organized the neighbors to get out there and use his chainsaw to clear the streets. In times of crisis, the right-wing guy and, the question authority old lady on the block are the ones working together to see that everything goes well for everyone. He doesn't know how I've moved him in this direction. At the last National Night Out, he told me how he was up north yelling crude things to pipeline protesters, and he asked my opinion. Again, over hot dogs. I told him that all of Minneapolis's drinking water comes from the Mississippi River, and that if those pipelines are built and burst, it will destroy our drinking water. He was quiet for a good long minute, something that is rare for Randy. Then he said, "Maybe sometimes I should just keep my big damn mouth shut." The recent health crisis, COVID, isolation, Zoom technology, were you prepared for this? A number of years ago, I visited a fly-in, fly-out community in British Columbia up in Canada. The Nawak people have lived in that mountain valley as long as their memory goes. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, smallpox was introduced to their community. The elders told everyone, an estimated 10,000 Nawak people, to go up into the mountains in pairs or in their family groups and to not come back for 1 year. Of 10,000 people, a year later, only a few hundred returned. Flexible thinking, courage to do the right thing, leading people, getting people's agreement to do the right thing. That is what saved the Nawak people. Today, survivors will say, I'm the 150th person born after the epidemic. That's how they count their existence. The last thought I will leave you with is I encourage you to be creative. Create with the idea of beauty in your heart. Exercise your creative mind. Not just creating art, but using your creative, flexible intelligence in whatever endeavor you pursue. Creating is about building, recreating, growing. As long as one is creating, you can't be about destroying. Once again, you are here to be honored. You did this. Good on you, good job. And I and others around here are proud of you. Miyu, which in Ojibwe means, now it's your turn. Miigwech. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you for honoring us with the gift of storytelling. And may we say to you, good job. Let's also recognize the space we're in, the Foundry Theater, which we revived this year, and thanks to Chris Westhoff for hosting us today. Now the main event. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree please rise? President Fernandez, it is my great honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from Antioch College. They have been recommended by the faculty for these degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the power vested in me by Antioch College Board of Trustees and the state of Ohio, it's my pleasure to grant you the degree Bachelor of Science.
Abby Seister, self-design major, trauma recovery through psychology and the visual arts, summa cum laude. William Rice, self-design major, biomedical anthropology. Olivia Jane Simmons, self-design major, ecology and political inquiry, magna cum laude.
Congratulations. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please rise? President Fernandez, it is my great honor to present to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts from Antioch College. They have been recommended by the faculty for these degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the power vested in me by the Antioch College Board of Trustees and the state of Ohio, it's my pleasure to grant you the degree Bachelor of Arts.
It's okay. Gael Cabrera Ocampo, self-design major, film studies, performance, and Latin American culture. Mercy Viola, self-design major, interdisciplinary arts and African and indigenous cultural studies, magna cum laude. Adrian G. Colburn, self-design major, social enterprise and social innovation, magna cum laude. Ashley Levon Coleman, self-design major, interdisciplinary arts and creative practice, summa cum laude. Allison Jane Leach, self-design major, environmental humanities, summa cum laude. Robin McCoy, self-design major, English and literary arts, cum laude. Erina McGuire, self-design major, developmental psychology and the arts. Ben O'Brien, self-design major, interdisciplinary arts and creative practice, magna cum laude. Darius Riley, self-design major, interdisciplinary arts and creative practice. Anna Desiree Robinson, self-design major, media arts and communications. Bonnie Rodriguez, self-design major, global studies and engagement. V. Schinkel, self-design major, curating at the visual arts. Chance Summer Yuki Stillwell, self-design major, the language of performance. Jameson Watkins, self-design major, social psychology and familial reformation, cum laude. In a newer tradition of wearing academic regalia at Antioch resumed 2 years ago, we ask those of you wearing mortar boards to please move your tassel from the right side to the left side, joining a select company of college-educated Antiochians. Now I welcome Tony Dosick, a representative of the Antioch College Alumni Association.
Good morning. My name is Tony Dosick, and I am the immediate past president of the Antioch College Alumni Association. On behalf of the 20 members of the Antioch College Alumni Board, who represent more than 15,000 Antioch College alumni, some of whom are here today, welcome. What joins us all is a thread of mutual connection, a sense of shared values and mission about what it means to be a graduate of a liberal arts college like Antioch, to think critically and to link that thinking and learning to action and commitment. We come from different times. I'm a 1967 graduate. You are 2024 graduates. But we share so much: a love, dare I say hate, relationship with this college that pushed us out of our comfort zones and required us to work and live on our own, in the belief that education is not something that just takes place in the classroom, but is something that takes place throughout the world. An understanding of the impact of community as a laboratory of democracy, and how to build settings and circumstances where all voices are heard as part of our commitment to self-expression and self-development, as well as our obligations to one another. A chance to build our own education, which even in my day was possible as I combined political science, sociology, and history. I am truly honored and very, very proud to be with you on this special day. Now go off. Now more than ever, we need you to use your Antioch education to win those victories for humanity. And please look under your chairs. There is a gift for you from the Alumni Board to help you start on your journey. Welcome to the family of Antioch alumni. I am pleased to announce our next speaker, Jane Fernandez, President of Antioch College, for closing remarks.
Okay, and now it's finally time for us to celebrate the amazing class of 2024. We have individually and collectively learned so much from them, and for this we will always be grateful. We believe in the commitment to win victories for humanity and graciously accept their plea for us to do the same. For now, please remain seated until the recessional concludes with the stage party graduates and faculty. Guests are encouraged to join in the recessional to the mound ceremony, which will begin in about 20 minutes and be led by Shannon McCarville, graduate of 2002, and our new Director of Alumni Relations and Communications Manager. Those of you who parked in the Foundry lot can move your cars back to main campus. A reception in South Hall's Herndon Gallery will end the festivities for the day. Thank you.
Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Freedom Justice is coming. Justice is coming.